putting them on, to whatever device I'm going to use to view it, just because I don't want to deal with the, irregularities of the network of the
right.
How fast your internet is, especially mine. I don't get these fast like 54 Mbps internets. I get the cheap one, the 3, the 5. Right now I don't even have internet. Right now we don't have Wi-Fi in the house.
How does this place even exist, man?
Yeah, I know, man. It's kind of weird, and my son is going through some withdrawals, and he's just like, "How am I gonna watch YouTube? Hell,
something, man. I gotta see people playing video games. I don't know what's going on."
He's over there shaking. But yeah, right now we don't have internet. We're in between, and I think I mentioned a few podcasts ago that I've been shopping and finally cut the strings with Comcast. So I might go back to Comcast, but we're gonna take a little hiatus for a minute and then jump back in later.
I can just pay the full price, man.
Man, I'm not paying $60 for internet.
That's
dude.
normal.
I know it's normal, but dude, I am not paying for that. I've gotten away from paying from cable. I cut the ties. I got over the air, TV, and it's perfectly fine, dude. I'm fine. I don't feel any kind of need like, oh my god, I wish I had ESPN right now so I could watch what's going on with the free agents. I don't. I got my phone and I check the websites and I check the stuff and I get the news that way.
Man, you sound like a millennial right now, man.
I mean, that's just the reality, man. And to me, compounded that I'm cheap, I'm not going to pay for that. I'm not going to pay for something that I don't deem is worth that cost. And over-the-air TV is perfectly fine for me. My wife doesn't watch much TV to begin with. She's mostly on her phone doing her thing. Junior, he doesn't watch TV at all unless he's like over at his grandma's house, just watching whatever they're watching. But otherwise, he's plugged into the net, trying to watch whatever videos he wants. So nobody watches TV. I'm the only one that really watches TV, and it's only to watch sports, my local sports.
Right.
And that's it. So what am I going to pay $100 a month for TV and internet when I just don't use it that often? The only thing I do use is the internet. But the internet alone is like $60, and I'm not paying $60. I'm just not, man.
You want to pay $58?
Well, I'm shopping. I found a few like in the $30 range, and I found one that looks kind of interesting on the $10 range. So I'm kind of contemplating that one. We'll see, man.
Yeah, please let us know what $10 internet is.
Yeah, man. It's like it's a little step above dial-up, man. You don't hear that little dial-up sound when you start, but we'll see, man. I'll fill you in as soon as I give it a try. Haven't pulled the strings yet or pulled the trigger on that yet, so we'll see. Well, Andy, let us know, man. Something else you've been up to or what you watched, man. You watched that Wolf of Wall Street again. That was that, who was the main character on that thing again?
Leonardo DiCaprio plays this guy who went to Wall Street and made his money on like penny stocks and then all this other shit. So yeah, it's a great movie. The only reason I watched it because I bought the Blu-ray, like they're cheap. I'm like, let me rewatch it. I remember being a really good movie, and the debauchery that these Wall Street guys do, it's pretty crazy. And yeah, they made a lot. That firm or whatever made a shitload of money, and they were nuts. And I don't remember if he got nominated or not for that movie, but Scorsese directed it. It was kind of long, what I remember, but yeah, it was a really, really good movie. Yeah, I recommend everybody check it out. It's one of DiCaprio's better movies, instead of like him fighting bears or fucking what's the other one? Yeah, you saw where he wrestles a bear, right?
Yeah, I forget the name of it now.
He's like with an Indian or something.
But yeah, that's actually a pretty good one. I liked it.
It was all right. Gotta jump the shark when he started wrestling that bear. That bear would have destroyed him, dude.
Well, it did destroy him, dude.
He walked back to the camp, dude. He's just like, oh yeah, man. He fucking scared him away, and like.
But that was after like a week of recuperating his injuries.
It's fake, bro. It's fake.
Bro, all I know is I could fight a bear, man.
Nah, man, you crazy, man. What's Joe Rogan? Was here? He show up those videos where people fight bears and their like faces are missing and shit.
Yeah,
yeah, they're like guts get ripped out. But going back to the movie, yeah, it's Jonah Hill, the character he plays, is hilarious, and like just the partying when you have so much money, it's like it's ridiculous, man. Like some of the shit that they did and they got away with, and he's talking about drugs and the women, and it was just like craziness, dude. So DiCaprio, he played him really good, so it was a good movie.
Yeah, I liked it myself as well. It was kind of funny. One of those like intelligent movies where they're kind of showing you how the process worked in Wall Street, but as well as still keeping a comedic atmosphere with showing all the behind the scenes.
Yeah,
them guys just not knowing what to do with all that money. Right.
That's why DiCaprio, he's turning into like he's come a long way from the Titanic movie, and I think he's a pretty solid actor. I mean. When he played a J. Edgar Hoover in that movie, I don't know, that one was a little... He played him all right, but it was also like a little out there.
Well, that was just a different character as well.
Yeah, and I know it was based on... I think Clint Eastwood directed that one.
Yeah, if I remember right.
And that one was just... The story-wise, it was all right. I don't know how accurate it was. But he was good in the Django. He was good in...
He's usually pretty good in his movies. The only thing with him recently, man, from what I've been seeing at these award shows, he keeps going on that tangent about saving the woods or the nature.
Oh, without a doubt, he's a tree hugger. He's a hippie, man. He just, we gotta freaking do this and then less flying and driving, and he's one of those guys, which is cool, but also it's just like it's a bit too much.
I think it's kind of hypocritical since he's got a private jet that he flies to all these events.
Well, exactly. It's just like everything in life. People who have money do as I say, don't do what I'm doing. So do this. Only I can do it. So it's just typical Hollywood BS crap. They mean well, but they're not following what they're preaching. So that's why I don't take all that shit serious, man.
I'm sure he does mean well, and he does want to save. Maybe he did feel touched by some of the people when he was making that movie where he wrestled that bear, because it seemed like after that he really got on that horse.
Or even before that, he was on all that hippie shit.
Yeah,
it's just like,
which I agree with. To me, his message, I agree with. I think we should lessen our carbon footprint. I agree with what he's saying, but I just think it's kind of funny that he makes a big deal out of it while he's flying in his jet to these private events.
I'll never forget when I was a kid. I was telling my girlfriend this because she was like, yeah, we gotta do this and this, and I was like, look, man, I've been told all this shit my whole life, and here we are. I'm 40. I'm gonna be 40 years old this year, and we're still talking about the same shit. It's just a different name. Back when I was growing up in like late 80s, or I remember freaking Cheers, the guy Ted Danson, going on the news saying people who use hairspray and all this were killing the ozone layer. We're going to be bald. We're not going to be able to walk outside by the year 2000. The sun's going to burn us up because there's no layer of protection. And I remember like, holy shit, man, this guy's on TV. He knows what the hell he's talking about. I remember telling my mom this, and my mom was like, what the hell are you talking about? You're talking nonsense. I'm like, well, they're on TV saying, who's saying that? And like, that guy in the bar. And she's like, that guy? And she's like, don't pay attention to him. Dude, I got spooked. Like, I was freaking out, right? And then I remember telling people, and I'm just like, and here we are, like, fucking 20 plus years later, and now they're talking about, climate change is real, and, we gotta do this and this, otherwise there's gonna be this, and, like, now they're blaming that. That's why we get this extreme weather and like all this shit. Like, next 10 years is gonna be something different. It just changes. It's the same shit. Yes, we gotta protect Mother Earth. Yes, we gotta recycle. Yes. But it's just they take it to such an extreme, and like when you're a kid or you don't know no better, you see these people on TV and movies. They're like, well, if they're saying it, it must be true, right? Like I trust them. I shared a moment with them when I watched their show or a movie, whatever. Like I know him or her. So I'm gonna listen to him. And yeah, you just like I told my girlfriend, like, man, that shit scared me, dude. Like, I'm gonna get fucking burnt up by the next 10 years. We can't do this and we can't do that. It's just the thing. It's the same thing. It just changes names.
So you're telling me Ted Danson is the one that spooked you, not the RoboCop commercial?
No.
With the blue sunscreen? Do you remember that?
No. I just remember...
You remember RoboCop? At the start of RoboCop, there was one of those like fake commercials.
Was the lady in the pool, right?
Yeah, and she gets on...
What was she selling?
She puts on like Blue Blocker 5000. It's like,
something. Yeah, well, yeah.
Or 5 million PSI.
Exactly, dude. That was around the time when all that shit, like the ozone layer, right?
Yeah.
Everybody was talking. I mean, today's kids don't know, but I remember, if it wasn't there, we were going to get nuked by the freaking Russians, And it's just like, this shit just, it changes. They got to put a new thing out there to push on people.
Well, I think, Andy, to be honest, the little bit that I know, I don't know a lot about it, but these things bring to awareness changes that we need to do in our lifestyle.
It's hippie talk, man. There's a lot of changes that have been done.
Well, let me finish. The hairspray thing was a thing, man. The chemical that they used inside of the hairspray to maintain the pressure
right,
was harming the ozone, or at least theoretically. I mean, I don't know. I didn't go up there and measure and be like, oh, shit, it is messing up the ozone. I got to take some scientist's word for it. But according to the scientists, that
according to Ted Danson,
or yeah, especially
not scientist Ted Danson.
Yeah, he's saying that the chemical in there. So guess what, Andy? Those spray cans do not use that chemical anymore. So it brings to awareness a problem that's out there, and for humankind to make adjustments to try to lessen the harm that we do to this world. So I think something like Leonardo DiCaprio's message, it does hold true. Carbon does harm the world, and I think we need to lessen our carbon footprint.
No. Carbon does not harm the world.
Well, in excess of carbon.
Oh, now the plants are killing us, dude?
No, well, when you excessively...
Because that's what plants create.
Plants create oxygen.
Carbon.
No, plants soak up carbon.
It's the other way around, if I remember my science correctly. I could be wrong. I remember junior high science. I remember plants created carbon. They take the oxygen, they convert it into carbon dioxide. Right?
No.
Google send it. I don't got time to search this shit, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
It's the other way around. The trees, that's what they need to survive. They need carbon. So they soak up the carbon, they clean it through their systems, and then they release oxygen into the air. That's why having a plant supposedly in your house makes your house be fresher, because it's sucking up the carbon that you're letting out from your lungs, and then they purify it and then send it back to you as oxygen.
All you scientists, yeah, send us this shit, man, because me and Danny both failed the junior high science. I remember plants creating. I distinctly remember plants creating carbon, because I remember when all this carbon shit coming up, people were like, it's bad for you. I'm like, well, don't plants create it? So what are we going to do with all the grass and all this shit?
I don't know, man. I could have sworn.
I could be wrong, but that's what I distinctly remember.
Well, yeah, we both could be wrong for sure, because it's something that we just don't.
I'm with Ted Danson, man. And then Ted Danson made a fool of himself. I want an apology from him.
No, yeah. I'm just reading it right here. The trees soak up the carbon, and they release oxygen back out into the atmosphere. So they soak up CO2, and then they release the oxygen back after they clean it.
Carbon dioxide?
I don't know if carbon dioxide, because carbon dioxide is it's like another. It's kind of like water. It's not just oxygen. It's water.
Right.
It's H2O. So granted, I mean, back to the what we were mentioning. I think he's right, where we do it in such an excess. We cut down our trees in excess that we do not provide a way for this world or the earth to be able to give us clean air in a sufficient amount for what we're putting out. Oh. So I think it just brings to awareness things that we need to do, whether small or big, adjustments into our lifestyle to help prevent and help improve the world that we live in.
So are you gonna walk everywhere? I'm gonna be driving. Is that cool?